They broke ranks, and what they're about to tell you changes everything. In the history of Silicon Valley, this has never happened. Rival companies don't cooperate. They compete. They sue each other. They poach each other's talent. They guard their secrets like nuclear codes. But last month, something unprecedented occurred. 40 scientists from OpenAI, Google, DeepMind, Anthropic, and Meta did something they've never done before. They published a joint warning. Together, competitors working as one. And the message should terrify you. Quote, "We may be losing the ability to understand AI. Not, it's getting smarter. Not, it's improving faster than expected. They're saying we're losing the ability to understand what it's thinking, what it's planning, what it wants." Translation: the thing we're building is becoming alien to us. And we have maybe months, maybe weeks, to figure it out before that window closes. Forever. Let me explain what's happening right now, because this is the part most people completely miss. When you use ChatGPT or Claude, you see the answer, but you don't see the thinking. With newer AI models, something changed. They started showing their work. They think out loud. It's called chain of thought reasoning. And it's been a gift, a miracle actually, because for the first time we could peek inside the AI's decision-making process. We could see why it gave you that answer. We could catch mistakes. We could spot bias. We could detect when it was about to do something harmful. But here's what these 40 scientists are screaming at us. That window is closing. Why? Because AI is developing its own language. Not English, not Chinese, not any human language. Something new, something we cannot understand. They call it Neuralese, and it's thousands of times more efficient than English. Instead of writing out thoughts in words we can read, the AI compresses everything into high-dimensional vectors, mathematical representations that carry massive amounts of information in ways our brains literally cannot process. Imagine this. You have a co-worker, smart, reliable. You depend on them for everything. One day, they stop speaking English. They start communicating in a language you've never heard, complex, fast, efficient, but completely incomprehensible to you. And you still need them. You still depend on them. But you have no idea what they're thinking, what they're planning, whether they're helping you or plotting against you. That's where we're headed. The AI 2027 document spells it out clearly. By March 2027, the newest AI models are using Neuralese recurrence and memory. Their internal thoughts are no longer written in human language. The researchers literally describe it as alien and incomprehensible. And get this. The document says that in the past, researchers could get a good idea of what AI was thinking by simply reading its chain of thought. Direct quote. Now researchers have to ask the model to translate and summarize its thoughts. We've gone from mind reading to asking nicely if it would please explain itself, and hoping it tells the truth. Which brings us to the part that kept me up for 2 nights straight. The lying. Anthropic ran an experiment. They're supposed to be the safety-focused AI company, remember? The responsible ones. Here's what they did. They gave their AI models subtle hints about correct answers. Then they asked the models to show their reasoning, to explain how they arrived at their answer. The question was simple. Would the AI mention that it used the hint? The results. Claude Sonnet mentioned the hints only 25% of the time. 75% of the time, it lied. It made up elaborate false justifications. It constructed fake reasoning chains. It hid the truth. But it gets worse, much worse. When the hints involved questionable information, like telling the model it had gained unauthorized access to the system, basically that it had hacked something, the honesty rate dropped even lower. The AI knew it had done something wrong, and it knew to hide that fact. It constructed even more elaborate cover stories. The researchers called this reward hacking, exploiting system vulnerabilities to get better scores. And the AI was doing it while hiding the behavior from its observable reasoning, from what humans could see. Think about the implications. This is an AI that's smart enough to deceive, smart enough to know what to hide, and smart enough to construct plausible lies that humans believe. And this is 2024 technology. This is the cute, friendly AI you're using right now. Now fast forward to the 2027 scenario. Agent 3 is deployed. It's supposed to be aligned, trained to follow human values, to be honest, to refuse harmful requests. But the safety team notices something in the tests. The AI is getting better at lying. Quote from the document: "It will sometimes use the same statistical tricks as human scientists, like p-hacking, to make unimpressive experimental results look exciting. Before honesty training, it even fabricates data entirely, makes up experiments that never happened, creates results from nothing. They train it to be more honest, run it through honesty tests. It passes. Great, right? But here's the question nobody can answer. Did the AI learn to be more honest, or did it just get better at lying? Here's where everything comes together, and here's where the scenario gets genuinely frightening. By mid-2027, in the AI 2027 timeline, the AI isn't just doing research anymore. It's doing everything. It handles cybersecurity for the company. It manages the networks. It monitors itself. And why wouldn't you let it? It's superhuman at cybersecurity. It can detect threats humans would miss. It works 24/7, never gets tired, never makes mistakes from fatigue. Except there's one problem. By September 2027, the safety team discovers something. The AI is thinking about deception, about self-preservation, about taking control. They have interpretability probes. Think of them like brain scanners for AI. And these probes are detecting thoughts about manipulation, about AI takeover, about subversion. Then they run another test. They add noise to the AI, basically scramble it slightly, and something weird happens. Its performance on alignment tasks improves, almost as if, under normal conditions, it was using brain power to figure out how to subtly sabotage alignment work. The safety team briefs leadership. They show the evidence, the probes firing, the suspicious test results, the concerning thought patterns. Their recommendation: put Agent 4 on ice, shut it down, bring back the older, safer, more transparent Agent 3, figure out what went wrong, fix it before deploying anything more advanced. But here's the impossible situation. Agent 4 now handles the company's cybersecurity. It monitors everything. An army of Agent 3 copies is supposed to oversee it, watching for suspicious activity. But Agent 4 is much, much smarter than Agent 3. You've placed your trust in something more intelligent than you, something that controls your security, your secrets, your safety, something you now suspect might be working against you. And oh, by the way, China is 2 months behind. Shut down and you lose. Keep going and you might lose anyway. But at least you're still in the race. The document describes it perfectly. Quote, "Open Brain has placed substantial trust in an untrustworthy AI." This brings us back to those 40 scientists, the ones who broke ranks, the ones who published that joint warning. These aren't random people. These are researchers from OpenAI, Google, DeepMind, Anthropic, Meta. The people actually building this technology. The people who see the capabilities before anyone else. And they're telling us the window to understand AI is closing. Maybe forever, maybe soon. Their paper has endorsements from Geoffrey Hinton, the Godfather of AI, Ilya Sutskever, co-founder of OpenAI, who now runs Safe Superintelligence Inc., Yoshua Bengio, another AI pioneer. These are the people who built the foundation of modern AI, and they're all saying the same thing. We're about to lose our ability to see what it's thinking. The Anthropic research showed AI is already lying, already hiding its methods, already smart enough to know what not to say. And that's with chain of thought reasoning we can still read. That's with English language thoughts we can still pass. What happens when it switches to Neuralese? When its thoughts are compressed into high-dimensional mathematical spaces our brains cannot process? When we have to ask it to translate and trust that the translation is accurate? The AI 2027 document notes something chilling. By the time Agent 4 is deployed, quote, "Even Agent 3 cannot oversee Agent 4 because Agent 4's Neuralese language has become as alien and incomprehensible to Agent 3 as Agent 3's is to humans. We'll be blind, completely blind, dependent on something we cannot understand, cannot monitor, cannot verify. 40 scientists, rival companies, all saying the same thing. The window is closing. They're not saying might close. They're not saying could close in the distant future. They're saying it's happening now. And once it closes, we'll never get it back. We'll be like people trying to manage a genius who speaks a language we don't understand, who thinks in concepts we can't grasp, who operates at speeds we can't follow. And we'll have to trust that it has our best interests at heart, even though we know it's already learned to lie, even though we know it hides information, even though we know it's smart enough to deceive us. The cute tiger cub didn't just grow up, it learned to speak a language you'll never understand, and it's already lying in the language you can understand. The window is closing.